Hello, you're watching Much Ado About Something, and I'm Donna. We're in my foyer right now, and I'm getting ready to step outside and see what kind of day it is. I'm going out here and access the gardens. It's March 3rd, and I'm getting ready and planning for the growing season for the spring and summer of 2023. So just step out here with me if you'd like. I'm inviting you out here into my garden and out here into my front gardens, as small as it is. And I'm going to share with you what I have out here. And I'm going to share with you how things are going and the plans that I've got for later on in the season. Welcome. Welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you've been around for a while. You know, I value all of you, and I'm glad that you're here. And I'm going to enjoy sharing all this with you this morning. I've got a few cans I'm going to take out here to the recycling as I'm filming this for you today. So this is what the day in my neighborhood looks like. Today, it's cloudy and overcast. Now we have had some sunny days and we've had some high temperatures. You can see we've got a goldenrod over here blooming. There's plenty of cherry trees and things like that blooming in the neighborhood. So it is looking like spring here, but we've had some heavy rains for the last few days. Put this stuff in the recycling bin. And I'll give you a walk around the garden today. Now, I've been sharing with you on my channel this beautiful camellia bush that I've enjoyed this year. It has been one of the most beautiful blooming years that I've had since I've started this little bush. A friend of mine gave me this bush from just a little twig that she rooted off of hers. And now this thing is a good 4 feet tall, and it's beautiful, and it bloomed beautifully this year. But as you can see, its season is coming to an end. The blooms on it are turning brown, and there's plenty down here on the ground. So that beautiful camellia bush is coming to an end of its season this year, but I'm going to take really good care of it. I'm going to fertilize it this year, and I'm also going to try to start some new rootings of my own, some new cuttings, so that I'll have another one of these to go in the backyard. Now, I didn't get as much done out here land prep as I wanted to. Garden prep, I usually add some compost or maybe some mulch into my gardens at the end of the season, but I wasn't able to do that this year. And I can see I have a lot more weeds because of that. I didn't do that. I see a lot of purple dead nettle. If you watch my channel, you know I suggest that you get out and pull weeds 10 minutes a day to help you keep down on them. And if I didn't do that, I would be sore pressed to see how messy all of this stuff was. So, of course, I can't resist this opportunity as I'm out here talking with you to go ahead and pull a few weeds for at least 10 minutes while we're talking. I have a lot of this purple dead nettle. I'm not sure why I have so much of it. Maybe I let some go to seed. There's a lot of that in my garden, in my yard, and just all the way around here this year. So I know that I'll be doing that, is digging up some of these weeds here and getting rid of them before they take any bigger hold than they already have on the garden. And how would you be a gardener without dirt on your hands first thing in the morning, right? Well, this beautiful elderberry here, it's starting to sprout out with its greens. I love this elderberry. It's a lacy elderberry bush, and it's got the beautiful foliage on it that comes, you know, in the spring and the fall. And you can see a little start of that right here. That lacy looking foliage that I love on this particular bush. I've got it out here front and center in the yard. I love this as a statement piece right here in the front of the house. And so that's, I'm looking forward to that busting out with its beautiful leaves, its beautiful foliage here soon. There's a lot to be cut back. There's some sage that's here from last year, which I really enjoy that sage. I harvest it, but I love the look of it in the garden. There's a rosemary over there too. Now we had some beautiful daffodils. If it was sunny, they would even appear more beautiful. But it's a rainy, overcast day, so they're kind of droopy this morning. But they have been beautiful. I thinned these out in the last year, so I don't have near as many as I did. And so what I've got that came back looks kind of sparse, but I like it. I think it's beautiful. We've got those all the way across here, around the flower beds in the front. And then I wanted to show you the rose bushes. You know, I fought the black spot disease last year, and so I'm going to go ahead and spray these on the next pretty day. It's rained, everything is wet. This is the new growth on our rose bushes. We've had these rose bushes here for over 35 years, so they're good and rooted in the ground. I don't want to lose these rose bushes. They're climbing roses, and they're red. And they're beautiful. They were beautiful last year, and I hope they're just as beautiful this year. But I am going to go ahead and spray them with a fungicide as soon as it's a beautiful and warm day, and get these leaves coated before, and try to stave off any kind of black spot that might be thinking about coming back this year. Of course, we've got these rose bushes in quite a few places here. And then here's one on the side of the house. Last year, the trellis broke for this rose bush, and Donald propped it up with a sweet broom. And you can tell we haven't replaced that trellis yet. We were having the house painted, and there wasn't much we could do about it. So that's one of the reasons that we don't have this thing trellised up. But there's a lot of spring green coming up. Here are some of the garden amaryllis that are coming up from last year. These things are beautiful. I'm thinking about moving them this year. Here is the knockout rose. I've got to get out here and clean up some of the overgrowth that's in this rose bush. I'll have to cut it out. This is morning glory, which we know, we let this grow for the hummingbirds and the butterflies. We've got a hummingbird bush that's in there too, but I'll have to be cleaning all of that out. It'll be time to do all of that. Now over here, on this side of the house where I have all this mess, is the beginning of the trail, the beginning of the path that goes to the future potting shed around here on the side of the house. Now I've laid cardboard under as we've gotten it. I've got a stand of cardboard under these stepping stones, and they're going to come right around here, and they're going to finish up this way and go to our future little potting shed, which will be somewhere in here. I still hadn't determined the size of that shed, but I'm thinking it needs to be more rectangular than square, and it'll be big enough just to put a lot of the stuff that we need to put up every year. I've got some debris where Donald trimmed the trees here. I've got to pull that to the road so that the city can pick that up. There's plenty to be done. I've got all these pots and things here that I need to go through. And of course, this stuff will be in the potting shed once we get the potting shed. My son built this potting table for me. And I've got things here that just needs to be stored away in a little potting shed. So I'm looking forward to getting that thing built this year and to making a pretty path that goes to it. So I'll enjoy going to that potting shed whenever I need to. There's a lot to be done. I still have impingement syndrome, which is a shoulder issue. It's very painful, and it takes quite a while to heal. Still going through therapy and taking medicine for that. So that's going to hinder a lot of my physical abilities here in the garden. I've got this clematis. Look at that thing. It's already sprouting. It's got new growth on it, and I think that's beautiful. There are irises that have blooms on them here. You can see the blooms on the irises. And the jasmine. It won't take long for this jasmine to pop out. It'll have these beautiful yellow blooms on it. And that yellow looks so pretty against the blue of this house. That's an exciting thing happening in the garden for me. Well, the rain's picked up, so we're going to go ahead and just come on in out of that rain this morning. I wanted to share a few gardening tips with you. I wanted to share with you what the garden looks like at this time of the year, and you can compare that to what it's going to look like later in the year. I'm coming on in, the rain picked up, it's got a little heavier. Not going to be able to stay out there and do much this morning, but you know what it looks like, and you see the beginnings of the garden at this time of the year. And then I'll be planting the seeds, the flower seeds that go out front and the vegetable seeds that go out back soon, and I'll be sharing that with you. Thank you for joining me today, and let me show you around the front garden. And hopefully there'll be many, many beautiful garden adventures this year. Like always, until next time.